Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Cricket on Forever Sports. For today's preview, it's South Africa versus Pakistan. The first ODI is tomorrow. The first ball we bowled at 1:30, or 2:30 South African Standard Time. It is at Supersport Park in Centurion. All the games are at the Highfield. 2 games at Centurion, 1 game at the Wanderers. So expect lots of pace in the wickets, expect very good batting conditions, expect big totals, and hopefully very big sort of chases and stuff like that. So it should be a really interesting series. And for South Africa, a clean slate. I think that's the word. I think it is a clean slate. Although it's very late in the season, what would normally be very late in the season, it's kind of the last sort of games for a while for the IPL. And I think, you know, it's with the announcement of the 2 new permanent captains, BAVUMA and Dean Elgar, it really is a sort of a restart, a relaunch almost of both sides. We've seen a couple of players being recalled, and we now are, you know, all eyes on the 2021 T20 World Cup, 2022 T20 World Cup, 2023 ICC World Cup. It should be really interesting to see how South Africa line up, and also what type of cricket they want to play. They keep talking about how they want to play an attractive brand of cricket. They want to play an attacking nature. They want to be aggressive. They want to go after teams. So it'll be interesting to see the sort of approach they take against Pakistan's side, which is very strong. Before we look at the teams, sort of what we can expect, please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new as well. Let me know what you think is going to happen down in the comments. So I'm going to start with the Pakistan side, because I think it's much more settled, and I think that we pretty much know what we're going to see. You're going to see Imran al-Haq and Asif Ali opening. Babar Azam will probably come in 3. Fakhar Zaman, Haris Rauf, Mohammad Rizwan, he was phenomenal in the away series just a couple of months ago. Then Fahim Ashraf, Shadab Khan, Hassan Ali, Mohammad Hasnain, and Shaheen Shah Afridi will sort of spearhead that burning attack. So we kind of know that that's very likely going to be the Pakistan side for tomorrow. I think that it's a very settled side. They kind of know who their best players are, and it's much easier to predict that side. You know, trying to sort of see what everybody else thinks in terms of the South African side. Lots of different people are predicting very different South African sides, whereas everybody's quite consistent about the Pakistan side that we probably will see in the first ODI. Also, Sunday's ODI. So the ODI is on the 2nd, 4th, and 7th of April, followed by the T20 series, which is the 10th, 12th, 14th, and 16th of April. And obviously a very different squad for South Africa for that T20 series. A lot of players going to the IPL. But if we're looking at the South African side for tomorrow, look, there's a couple of players we know are going to play. First of all, BAVUMA is going to captain this side. We know he's going to be captain until the 2023 World Cup. A very big opportunity for him, a very big moment for him. And I think, you know, he's spoken about the fact that, you know, he's really developed his game into a one-day player. And I think that when he was announced, I don't think I was particularly surprised. Just because, you know, we've seen his captaincy at the Lions, and we've seen how he's, you know, led sides to trophies in limited overs. And for somebody who was pigeonholed quite early as a sort of longer format type of player, he really has taken to limited overs like a duck to water, and he looked really good. So the big question is sort of, he said he's going to bat in the top order, but it's going to be a question of, is he going to sort of open the batting, or is he going to come in at 3? Aiden Markham is also said to return to the ODI side. It'll be interesting to see if he gets the nod tomorrow, and if he does, where is he going to bat? So we know that Quinton de Kock will open the batting, and he'll keep wicket. That's pretty much a non-starter. We know Kagiso Rabada is going to play, and for me, I think Lungi has to play. And then it'll be interesting to see if you go all around it. So if you're looking at 1 through to 11, it's going to be Quinton de Kock. Now, his opening partner is very difficult. Aiden Markham has very rarely opened in white ball cricket. And whereas Jan Malan, for example, is somebody who's taken his opportunities quite a lot. And the last ODI series South Africa played was a whitewash against Australia, where Jan Malan scored that fantastic century. So I think it'll be quite harsh if he doesn't get another opportunity to open tomorrow. If that is the case, you've got to have BAVUMA at 3, and then you're probably looking at Aiden Markham at 4. And then it becomes interesting, because you don't have probably Rassie Patterson at 5. You want David Miller at about 6. But then, are you putting an all-rounder at 7? You're putting another batsman. You know, can you find space for somebody like Calvin Rain? He's in such good form. He's scoring runs in every single format. He's becoming a difficult player to leave out. Where does he slot in? Are we looking at 2 all-rounders? And if so, are you looking at a spinning all-rounder, John Smuts, and Vian Mulder, or Andy Lepet-Lequire? You know, or are you looking at maybe 2 seamers, for example, because it's probably a position that doesn't necessarily suit spin. And then are you looking at players? Your seam attack, are you going to go Anand Nokia and Lungingidi and Rabada, or are you going to go 2 of those and maybe 2 around? So it's I think that's still quite open end. I think the bowlers and sort of the middle order is probably the most sort of undecided. because there are a lot of players that are in with a shot. I would like to see. I don't think we probably will see Vian Mulder just yet. I think we will see Lungengidi. We will see Kisa Rabada. Lungengidi was fantastic against Australia in that last sort of series that we actually played. So I have no doubt that he will be part of setup. I mean, unless they're into sort of more sort of, I mean, there could be an outside chance for a debut for Sisanda Magala. You've got somebody like Darren DePavlon in there, but I don't think we're really going to see those players in the lineup. So yeah, I think that's going to be quite interesting. You know, are they going to go with all rounders, a second spinning option, more bowling options, more batting options? Where does South Africa go? And if so, yeah, who did they go for? Because you've got a lot of all rounders, and it's now sort of a time to start sort of getting quite a settled 11. I think, you know, you don't have, you know, a long time. I mean, the ODI is more so because you've got the 2023 World Cup, but especially when it comes to T20s, this is probably the last series where we're going to be a bit of experimentation, not because we want to, but because we have to with so many players going to the IPL. So let me know what you think is going to happen, Dan. I would probably like to sort of see Rusty van der Dussen at 5, probably Dave Miller at 6, and then if you're going to an extra batsman, I'll go Kyle Verreynne. And then you could have, well, I'd probably go an all-rounder, to be honest. After Dave Miller, I'd probably go, I don't know, I think John Smuts is, I mean, that ship has sailed, although it is nice to have that sort of second spinning option. But you could then go sort of Vian Mulder, Andile Petlacquire, Lungi Ngidi, Pedro Rabada, and Tabraiz Shamsi. We know that Tabraiz Shamsi is going to play. He will be the spinning option. So it's sort of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, those sort of 5 players. So do you go, as I said, 2 all-rounders, 2 bowling all-rounders, or 2 steamer all-rounders in Petlacquire, Vian Mulder, and then go Lungi Ngidi, Kisa Rabada, Tabraiz Shamsi? Do you go John Smuts, and then go Nokia, Ngidi, Rabada, Shamsi? It's going to be quite interesting. So I think, Lungi Ngidi will play, Rabada will play, Shamsi will play. So it's probably about 2-3 spots, which are probably currently open. Very much sort of the all-rounder spots, because they've got a couple of players who are all sort of vying for that spot. I don't think we're going to see the likes of Lutus Apam. I don't think we'll see Darren DePavlon. I don't think we're going to see Keshav Maharaj, Baron Hendricks. Maybe not in this game. Maybe in other games. I think if we were to win the first 2 games, we might see a bit of rotation. But I'd like to see South Africa try and put out what they believe, what Mark Boucher believes is his strongest 11 in that squad, and go and get the job done and see, you know, can this squad compete? Because I'm bored of we don't really have time to keep experimenting while keep losing. We've got to start learning how to win games. We've got to start, and if Tim wants to start his captaincy well, he wants to walk onto the field with the strongest side he can have and go and try and start off well and really start building something and start building a sort of team. So it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be a very cool series. We will be covering it quite a lot. So yeah, smash a like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think is going to happen. What would your lineup be? Who would you play? Which all-rounders would you pick? Let me know down in the comments. And we'll be back tomorrow after the game for a review. So make sure you keep it locked on Freo Sports. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you very soon.